My 3 biggest study tips.
Some study tips that I would give are, first of all, don't cram it all in at once. It can be really hard when you're studying for a test and you realize that you hadn't studied all week and suddenly you have to cram it all in at one night. So I really encourage studying throughout the week, even if it's smaller increments, and then like the night or two before, then do some larger studying time and set aside that time. But don't do it all at once. Don't expect yourself to be able to retain all that information in one night of studying, because that just makes it really hard on you and that's unfair to you, and it's probably really just not the best method.
One piece of advice that I would love to share has to be to break down large assignments into smaller assignments. It's way easier and less stressful to do a paragraph a day leading up to the due date and the final product of a 5-page paper, rather than doing all 5 pages in the last day. That can get really stressful and really tiresome, and you just don't want to do a 5-page paper in the last day because it's not going to be your best work.
My first semester on campus, I really had the luxury of having 2 desks on campus in my dorm room that were both for me. So one desk I specifically delegated to homework and studying, and the other one I did everything else at. And having a place where you are committed to only doing homework or only studying, for me at least, is super valuable, because then whenever you go to that space, you almost have a mental association of being like, this is the place where I get in the zone, this is the place where I get stuff done, I focus. And I think even that act of just having a physical kind of manifestation of a good habit is really, really important.
Something else I would do is do your best to make it fun and not completely miserable. So that would include things like taking breaks and not cramming it all in again in like 3-4 hour studying session. Take breaks, go for walks. It can be good to study with a snack or a drink or a coffee.
To get yourself some sort of academic planner or calendar where you're able to write down all your assignments and the due dates for certain assignments, even if you have to do that weekly, just so that you stay on top of what's due and when it's due.
Set goals when you go into your study time and you go into your homework time. So for me, sometimes that looks like time goals. Sometimes I tell myself, okay, I'm not gonna get up for 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna get stuff done. Or maybe that looks like a project goal. So maybe that's saying like, okay, I'm not gonna get up until I finish my paper, or I'm not gonna get up until I finish my rough draft or something like that.
And I would also say study with friends, because at college, everyone's studying throughout the week. And so find friends that also have a test coming up or just need to do homework, and study with those friends so that you're not doing it all alone. And I really think that can make it more enjoyable and bearable, and makes it easier to study and have fun.
There was a few stressful times where you find out that something's due that night and you haven't started it. So just stay on top of your stuff and get a planner so you know what's due and when they're due.
I would put your phone away, right? Put your phone away, put it face down even. Whenever I have my phone face up on when I study, I do not get stuff done. I just tap it constantly and check it and open Instagram and all that stuff, and it makes me, like double the time that I would have spent if I just put my phone away and put it in my backpack. So yeah, those are my 3. I hope this was helpful.